Hi, guys. Welcome to YoWhyMakesYou.org and the email by that same name, YoWhyMakesYou@gmail.com. Get knowledge, get wisdom, and get understanding. My people perish for the lack of knowledge. Stop perishing. Get you some knowledge. Stop walking like you're going nowhere. Stop thinking upon things that are not conducive to your future, the future that you really want. Stop thinking about things that are not in line with where God's want you to go. God's showing you where you should be going through your visions and dreams. Stop doing those things. Get you some knowledge, get you some wisdom, get understanding. Wisdom is a key, but you need to start acting on the knowledge and the wisdom that you have and that you need. Get more so that you won't be perishing. You will be succeeding in life. Hey guys, when I talk to you about this morning, we talk about God is about restoration projects. We all are. It's not like the potter molding us. This restoring that God is doing is like, you think about it, Christ is a carpenter, right? That specific career path that he took is restoring projects, building them from scratch. Like a creator, he can create from wood, take woods, pieces of wood, and put them together and form a chair, a house, a table. He can do all these things. He's a carpenter. How is he doing that with mankind? Restoring us. He can restore pieces of furniture. Being a carpenter, he has that skill. He can take an old piece of furniture, something that's been run down. He can see that it needs a lot of love, a lot of attention. He sees that piece of wood or that piece of furniture and says, I can make it better. I can restore it back to life. I can put beauty back into that piece of furniture. He's a carpenter. Is he doing that with our lives? The same thing that he's doing with our lives, restoring us back to the original intent of an object, the original intent for mankind. Christ came to restore man back to God, back to its original intent. That's Christ, the carpenter. He has a skill set that he's still working today. Even though he's left us behind to bring us unto God, to restore us back to the Father. Now we can go straight to God and ask and talk and hang out with God, and we can talk with Christ, and we can have conversations. The carpenter restored us, brought us back to life, back to our original intent. Wrong intent when Adam took of the fruit. There was an intent before Adam ate the fruit for Adam and Eve. Placed in this beautiful place called the garden. Surrounded by all the abundance of fruit and everything they needed, except for the couple of trees there. A tree that wasn't supposed to touch. A fruit that wasn't supposed to eat. They had everything they needed. They said that was gold and everything else, like things that are meant for, I guess you could use them, even heaven, have streets paved with gold. But what does Adam and Eve need with gold and sapphire and diamonds and rubies and all this in the garden? The wealth was there in the beginning. All the provision that would be needed for mankind, they had. all around them in their possession. They had dominion. They gave up that dominion to an evil spirit. Now, I've been hearing a lot of things. I need to probably I want to get starting the book of Enoch. I want to get a picture of that time. I know it is a terrible looking spiritual time that Enoch is describing based on what I've been seeing and reading. Terrible times, these fallen angels as they mingle with mankind, and it's just a terrible time. I'd like to get some more study. I'd like to get the book of Enoch so I could read. I think we are, who have been walking with Christ a long time, who are studies of the Word, can take whatever's in that book, can take it and still be spiritually sound and still be spiritually aware and still not deviate from anything that God has for us to do. I think we can take reading that book. But to know that everything was provided for Adam and Eve during that time, and then we come into this era where we are living a life that is not conducive to what we want to be and where we need to be. And we know sin had a big part to play in it, in this world system that we're living in, and not God's way of doing things, but it's the devil's ways of doing things, and many things we do. But we must live in this society. But we don't have to give into it. We don't have to walk in it. We don't have to arrange our lives in a manner of this world, but arrange our life in a manner of the way God wants us to live, His way of doing things. The carpenter came to restore us back to their original intent. And that's by His design. That's why He came, to give us the abundant life, and a life more abundant like Adam had. He had the abundant life. He lived it a long time in the flesh, but could have been more. Could have been 1,000 years. Or could have been more. We don't know. We can speculate based on Scripture and other interpretations of the Scripture that life would have been totally different what it is now, that we'd be living heaven like the whole earth could have become like the Garden of Eden. Man spread out through all the whole world if they had not eaten the fruit, and mankind spreading the kingdom of heaven throughout the whole world, making the whole world look like heaven on earth, like the Garden of Eden did. The Garden of Eden looked like heaven on earth, in all its abundance, and everything that it could be is a picture of what heaven looks like. Now, as we've been restored to Christ and restored to God, be able to come to God with all of our straight to Him, not going through a priest, we can do that now. We've been given back dominion. Now, there's a system still running here, but we have to do is walk in it as God's children, as His will, through our purpose, our destiny, the things that God's called us to do. Because that restoration project is still working in our lives. We're not 100% perfect. We've been perfectly planned, each and every one of us perfectly planned before we came here. But in that, we live in this sinful world. We can operate in it because we've been restored. We've gone through, and still are for some, through tests and trials, our restoration project, our restoring project that's still going on. we're beginning to look like the original intent, the beautiful furniture that was first made, smoothed out, shaven off, put together like the beauty that piece of furniture was. That's we are. Been put together, sharpened, shaven, smoothened, the right coat of paint on us. Beautiful. Christ is doing that to us. We've been done and restored, and then stored. The re part is to do over. Is stored up for Christ, stored back to the original intent. As you look at that and think about a carpenter's life and what God has done to us and Christ has came to do for us, that we are becoming to look like what Christ, what God, original intent is for us. We are that beautiful piece of furniture restored back to its original intent. You can see it, you believe in it because the walk that we have chosen is to be like Christ in the earth, but through our own abilities and our own talents and our own giftings. These are placed in every man. Each one has a specific purpose, like your fingerprint. No one's the same. No one's purpose is the same. No one's original intent is the same. No one has been called the same. Different positions, similar positions, jobs, but different position and different areas. But no one's the same. Every purpose is different. Your fingerprint's different for each one of us. And your calling is also different for each one of us. Think seriously about restoring. You've been restored back to the original intent when you come to Christ. When you walk in the callings of God, you're restored. You've been redeemed by the Redeemer, which is Christ. All right, guys, I love you guys. Praying for you. Remember, healing is part of the restoration. Healing your bodies, healing your minds, restoring you back to wholeness, complete, is a part of the restoration project that is on each of your lives. Remember, guys, go ahead to like us, subscribe to our YouTube channel, continue to go down this path of restoring your life. Help God restore you. He's done his part. Now you need to do your part. That's you taking up the pen and write about you, write about the things that you're supposed to be doing. Think about it in visions and dreams. Be the man and woman that God has called you to be. There's nothing the enemy can do to stop you but you. It's the only one can stop you. There's nothing in life that will bring you down or stop you from doing it. Is you take on the things that the enemy has said about you, and you're taking them on into yourself. There's no fear because God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of a sound mind. We have a sound mind, the mind of Christ we have. Be that it may, having the mind that is spirit, like Christ, means that we also can restore others. We can pray for others. We can help others to become themselves. I'm helping you by you listening to this message. I'm helping you to pinpoint those things about you and what's inside you and the things that you need to be. Pinpoint those things that you need to be searching for. Then you need to be striving to and chasing after your dreams, after your purpose. Restored. That's what you are. Thank you guys for watching our channel and continue to walk the path that God has chosen for you. Till next time.